Tell me your scariest paranormal story. Or your first paranormal story. I tell you what. Here's another one. I'll go first. Well, it was a couple years ago. And one of my buddy Chris, he was like, hey, we're going to do a private event at the USS Salem. I was like, USS Salem, battleship. Yes, I've never been to USS Salem. This was like whenever I first moved up to New Hampshire from Mississippi. Well, we went out there, Don, he just gave us a rundown and all that stuff, and gave us some history about the location, blah, 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 this and that. And then next thing you know, it was time to investigate. We got all our equipment, we split up in groups and just spread out. So, yeah, we've probably been investigating for 4 or 5 hours, at this point. Multiple shadow figures. Seen multiple shadow figures. This place never disappoints with shadow figures. It's pitch black, and these shadow figures are blacker than the darkness. And we're seeing them straight on, not out peripheral. So, we went to this one area toward the front of the ship. No, back of the ship. My bad. The back of the ship. And it's like it's a big open area. I forgot what it is. It's not a mess hall. The mess hall is where all the tables are. I don't know what this area is. I can't remember, even though I've been there multiple times. But it's a pretty huge room. And Chris was on the other end of it. And I was on the right hand side of the ship. He was on the left hand side of the ship. I could see him. He's at a doorway. I'm on the other side of a doorway, but I could see him on the other side of the room through that doorway. So I'm sitting here, I'm asking questions, this and that, and he's asking questions. A couple other people that were with us, they were asking questions. And we heard little knocks, bangs every now and then, responding back to us every now and then. A REM pod goes off, K2 goes off. Well, I look over and where Chris is on the other side of the doorway. I'm in the same area right here. It's another hallway on the other side. If you've been in Battleship, you know how they're mostly designed. Well, I see a shadow figure, and it just pacing back and forth every now and then, pacing back and forth. And I was like, Chris, hey, do you see that? Do you see that shadow figure right there? He was like, yeah, I just hadn't said anything. I'm sitting here watching it right now. I want to see where it goes. And so I started asking more questions. I was like, hey, look, making statements. Hey, we see you. Could you make a noise for us? Blah, 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 this and that. The regular paranormal investigator routine, asking questions at the very beginning. But at this point, we were about out of questions, so we just resorted back to the, original, questions. So I'm sitting here, I'm asking questions like, look, we won't harm you, we won't hurt you at all. And then next thing you know, I feel like this negative energy just go over me. I was like the with and out, get the hell out, like fear type thing, like something was, going to attack me or something. And keep in mind, we all have sensitive abilities. So all of us, if your mind's open, you have this sensitivity toward the spirit. But I sit here and I had that happen to me, and I looked over at Chris. I was like, Chris, I just got a bad feeling, dude. Back off. And next thing you know, before Chris could say something, the guy that was a part of the team group at that time, he grabbed me by my shirt. He was on the other side of the wall, but I'm at the doorway, and he reaches over, he lunges at me, grabs my shirt, yanks me toward him, and I'm like, dude, what the hell just happened? And the fear in his eyes was insane. He looked at me and he said, David, see that manhole right there? I didn't realize it was a manhole behind me, and it was wide open. He said, dude, whenever you said that, there was a black mass that just manifested right behind you, about a foot away from you. And I just really felt like that it was going to grab you and pull you down that manhole. And I'm like, what? So yeah, that freaked me out. He had that feeling, and he was like, yeah, he knew something was going to be bad. That's what he felt, like something was going to be bad. And the thing is, I didn't say exactly what I was feeling. And I felt like I was in danger. He felt it, saw it, and pulled me toward him to protect me. So, anyway, that's my story of the USS Salem. And keep in mind, USS Salem it's not a bad place. It was just he got freaked out, and he just wanted to protect me, So, but if you want to go to that location, definitely go to it. Check it out, USS Salem in Mass. Got to. It never disappoints. Always get some cool evidence. So, anyway. Hope to hear some of your own stories.